All right, let's go.
No, actually, the reason has nothing to do with it. That's what I learned. I was like, oh, all right.
We have Dr. Edward Group, Dr. Bryan Ardis, Dr. Henry Ealy. It's a Divine Masculine Day, and we're going to talk about a lot of great stuff. Every time I'm on with these gentlemen, I think I'm pretty savvy when it comes to health and all that good stuff, and they always school me. So I always come in with an open mind, and I'm eager to learn. So here we go. Gentlemen, thank you for joining me.
It's great to be here, Mike. Michael, Jaco, we love you, brother. It's great to be here. It is time again, 3 years in a row. This is time for the new annual Healing for the Ages 3.0 conference. It's coming up in like 2 or 3 weeks, October 23rd, 24th, 25th. You've been there. Your wife's been there. You know, we've been there. It's awesome. It's a show. It's a party. If you want to know what nerds look like when they have a party, that's what Healing for the Ages is. If you're a nerd, come hang out with us. If you're wondering how nerds have so much fun, you should come watch it. And you will see we are the coolest nerds you will ever meet. And yes, we're going to drop a bunch of nerdy stuff on you that we've all learned to apply in our lives to make our lives healthier, happier, and our wives happier. You're going to learn with Dr. Ed Group's presentation how to make your girl happier from the time you leave that conference. You're going to find out. Come learn what the nerds are studying. Come join us at Healing for the Ages. The theme this year is Make Yourself Healthy Again. It applies to you, your home, your pets, your loved ones, what it is you need to know to actually enhance your life's physical, emotional, and spiritual health. Yeah, that's great. MYHA. So is that how you pronounce it?
MYHA.
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 Yeah, so all of you out there who are struggling to figure out when should you invest in Tylenol to make your life healthier again. You know.
Yeah, so MYHA, that's a great one. So we have MYHA. MYHA. Now we have MYHA. See, I can learn, but it takes time.
Let's start this over again.
See, everybody watching to be like, if he can get this, I'm definitely getting this.
Amen. Yep.
So let me tell you about that story, Michael, because we were out in Florida. We were hanging out with Dr. Jana. We were in this early in January. We were planning on everything. And so when we get together, we start talking about topics like what do we want to teach this year? You know, and we're kind of anticipating where our individual research is going. Like Dr. Group has really done a great deep dive into the sacred texts and going around the world studying with masters. Dr. Ardis is always into this wonderful brain of curiosity and going through fertility studies and going through even into stevia and some cool stuff. I think we might even accidentally talk about circumcision today on the show, which is going to be kind of interesting. And then, but he's going to take everybody through these wonderful blood tests. What do we always get? We get a complete blood count and a CMP. He's going to take everybody through it so you can decode it, so you know what your doctor knows and probably more than your doctor knows, because then on Saturday, he's going to take you through the remedies for it, the natural celebration of solutions. It's going to be beautiful. Can't wait to get into that one. You're going to learn so much right there as well. Dr. Jana is going to take you shopping. She's going to take you through the supermarkets, through the grocery stores, reading labels, understanding what things mean that are on these labels so you can make great decisions for you and your family there. Of course, organic is the way. And then she's going to take you the next day into using your body as the instrument it's designed to be used for, to know what you're putting into your body before it goes in, while you're holding it, whether it's right for you, with some applied kinesiology techniques. It's going to be phenomenal. Everybody can do this. And Michael, there's so many people out there that are like, I want to meditate, but I don't know how to meditate. We're going to show you how easy it is. That's what I'm going to be doing on Friday. We're going to take you through the joy of breathing. We're going to help you set up a practice you're going to be able to repeat over and over again in the weeks following the conference, because remember, we always follow up. The conference doesn't end on the 25th. The conference actually just gets started after the 25th, because you have a workbook. You're going to have 14 to 21 days of what you can do every day, and then we get back together. We're the only conference in the world that we've heard of this so far, where we bring everybody back virtually, everybody who is in attendance, so we can answer those questions that you have now that you've been playing around with stuff. And then on Saturday, Michael, I'm going to drop some crazy stuff too. I'm going to drop how you can get the heavy metals that you were all being exposed with from the chemtrails, how we can get that out easily out of the body using minerals. We have some great tests that we've been proving over the whole year that you can use minerals at the right dosing, and that your body is, this is the cool principle. And I was talking with Dr. Group about it this morning. Your body, for whatever reason, knows the difference between what's best for you and what isn't. So, for example, when you give the body something that is really good, it will swap out the things that it might have been using that weren't so good for it. Your body intuitively knows how to do this. And that's true with heavy metals as well. So we're going to show that and that research as well. It's going to be amazing. People are going to leave the conference feeling like, oh my God, there is so much I can do to make myself healthy again. And I have a plan on how to do it. And I'm going to get to put that plan into place for a couple of weeks. And then I get to come back and talk with the 4 docs again and ask them some questions to clarify. It's a no-lose situation. And what's so awesome about it, Michael, how much does the average American spend every year on sick care? Take a wild guess. It's going to blow your mind.
Geez, it's got to be in the thousands. Let's say 4,000.
Okay. You're being kind. That might have been 1972, that number.
Wow.
All right. Now it's at least $15,000 every year the average American is spending on sick care. And we're telling you this, come with us, spend, for the virtual VIP, you can put in promo code JACO, right? That's the promo code, right? Put that in, get your 30% off. You're going to spend about $120-ish on that one, unless you're an A.G.E.S member, and then it's even cheaper. You're going to spend about $120 on it. Would you spend, Michael, $120 to learn how to save $15,000 every single year?
I would say absolutely, because I've been with you guys for a while now, and obviously I'm saving a lot of money. I don't spend anywhere near that. So.
Right. So this is the thing. So if everybody in your audience, we want you there. We want you there either in person. We only have a few seats left, but online, we want you there all around the world. You're going to learn some incredible things, new stuff, and you're going to see that you really have the power to make yourself healthy again. So we can't wait. October 23rd through 25th, put in promo code JACO, go to healingfortheages.com. Make it happen. You are going to love that decision to join us in October.
Fabulous. Now, a lot of people, and Dr. Ardis is very famous for coming up with the, the venom in the shot, and also venom in the first event that you guys had that I went to. He talked about venom and Ozempic, and I was like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, look it up. Look it up. Military." I was like, "Oh my God!" So
what did we see? What did we see this week, Mike? What did we see this week, Michael? A $2 billion lawsuit against Ozempic, representing 1,800 patients who have woke up blind on Ozempic, lost all their vision permanently, paralyzed stomachs, they're vomiting everything they eat for years after stopping Ozempic, and those with medullary thyroid cancer and pancreatitis unresolved from the venom inside Ozempic. $2 billion lawsuit just filed last week.
You warned about that years ago.
Yes, he did.
And all of you warned about, you like that? All of you warned about,
Wax off.
Watch my hand. So all of you warned about, the shots, getting and I did early on before the shot even came out, but all of you warned about it. Now we're seeing that it is actually affecting the DNA. And I know Dr. Ardis, you really came out, all of you came out really hard about talking about this biofilm. And I was like, biofilm, what is that? And now we're seeing that the body is, because the DNA has been, compromised, is actually forming biofilm, and it's just taking people down like crazy now, like we predicted.
They are engineering our cells to actually create massive amounts of its own cells, and that's called cancer. You're creating way faster cells than the body can break down. That is a process you can speed up with venoms, with biological weapons in these shots. That's what they've done. Wow. Now they've engineered your human body to create large blood clots that are unnatural to form inside every artery and blood vessel in the human body. And they're generating turbo cancers now, and they are generating these biofilms, these what look like silkworm parasites growing in the body. I mean, it's crazy what they can engineer. And Dr. Group taught us as a group here at Healing for the Ages that they're even using bacteria now. They can engineer bacteria and yeast are the primary methods in which they're doing this in the body of the vaccinated and those shed on. You're getting the bacteria and the yeast in your body from those vaccinated that have now been changed, and they are still contagious, being able to be infected, those who were not vaccinated. And once those bacteria and yeast in your body, they are no different than when they were in the other person's body. They're engineered now to produce poisons, venoms, blood clots. And now I've learned from Dr. Group, I was like, that's just insane. They can use bacteria and yeast to generate and make all kinds of stuff, but to learn that there are industries around the world, Michael, Jaco, that are actually using bacteria to manufacture plastic. I mean, if you can engineer plastic from living organisms, they can do anything they want inside your body. In fact, they look like rubbery plastic blood clots. I have them downstairs in my bathroom that have been pulled out of people's lungs, out of their legs on the autopsy tables around the world. But they've engineered life to kill us.
They've engineered evil, right? They've engineered evil is what they've really done. But can we just recap for everybody that has just maybe coming into Healing for the Ages for the first time, the things we've been right about so far? I'm just going to go down a short list for everybody. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Good.
The first thing we were all right about were the masks, the fraud with the numbers, and the shots. Then we're right about the nicotine. We're right about what's going on with the water. We're right about the transhumanism. We're right about what's going on with the bees and how the 5G is messing with the bees and messing with us. We've been right about grounding. We've been right about fasting. We've been right about using honey as your sweetener instead of refined sugar. We're giving some shouts out to Dr. Jana right now. We've been right about all of these things and more. We've been right about the sunlight recently and changing your bulbs from the LEDs to the incandescents. We've been right about every single thing that we have taught, and we've been right before anybody else. So if you want to wait a couple years to get and have everybody copying what we're saying because we've been right, you can do that. Or you can just skip that noise and go straight to Healing for the Ages and start studying with us, the four of us around, because we've been right across the board every single time. There hasn't been one single thing, Michael, that we've had to retract or correct because we were kind of right and not right. We have been over target the entire time, and everybody who's been studying with us that whole time has been the beneficiaries. And that's why we want you at this conference, because you don't need to wait 2 years for everybody to start parroting out the same things we've been saying. We were the first ones that came up with colony collapse in the microbiome and those biofilms. That was us. We were the ones that were doing the testing. We were the ones that were looking with our microscopes and having our teams check out. We were the ones doing it. And then we say it, people, well, and Dr. Ardis knows this better than anybody, will poo-poo it and take shots at your character without looking at any of the research that we published, any of the things we put out there. And then what happens magically a year or two later? Oh, they're the ones that figured it out. And it's like, look, we don't care about the credit. We care about you getting this information as fast as possible, because every day you don't have this information is a day wasted and another day where they move forward on their really diabolical plans.
And Michael, I'll say it here. Dr. Ed Group will say it all day long. So will Dr. Jana. So will Dr. Henry. But I will tell you, you can come and study with us and learn with us. We actually believe all of us have been brought together, but before being brought together, we each individually know that God has been leading us down a path of discovery and application of natural principles, us having to learn through the programming of our own lives, particularly the three of us on here who weren't raised in the woods by a hippie commune like Dr. Jana Schmidt. We had to learn that stuff and decipher and decode all the programming from elementary school, middle school, television, cartoons on Saturday morning. We had to deprogram all of our belief systems. And we believe God's been leading that charge. And then the whole world, the majority of the world that has become awakened to the deceits in medicine, it really only happened when their whole world was shattered. their ability to make money, worship, be with family on holidays during COVID, when they took all of your rights and freedoms from you, is when you're like, wait, something's wrong here. And I have to take a drug product called a vaccine that's never been proved for safe or effective. It came out of 9 months of an military operation Warp Speed. Wait, and we all need that in order to go spend time with our families, open our doors to our job to feed our families. Wait, something's wrong here. Why would I need a drug to be able to have rights and freedoms to travel, worship, sing hymns in church, go to my support group, go to a family holiday? Why? This doesn't even make any sense. So you've all been awakened, but we've been enlightened on these principles for years and have transformed our own homes, our own clinics based on what we've learned. You can either come join us at Healing for the Ages, or you can wait 2 years for the rest of the world to realize that there is a group of people who are guided with intuition and revelation to go seek knowledge on behalf of the rest of humanity. And for all of you out there who are Protestants to any degree, you know that when you read the New Testament, there are people who are given the gifts of discernment, a very specific gift, a gift of discernment. And then others are given the gift of healing. Well, if you're wondering who were those that were being fact-checked all day long, being smeared in the media for every revelation about the drug protocols in hospitals are dangerous and toxic related to COVID. Remdesivir is not safe and effective. In fact, it was coined by me, run death is near. That has been now known worldwide. They know this drug is deadly and toxic. Well, no one on earth knew that until I read those studies. Only the researchers who had done the studies the year prior knew this information, but they didn't have a platform and weren't motivated to go out and tell you while you're all being lied to. I had to have a loved one murdered in a hospital in order to motivate me to make sure you knew the truth. And I just wanted to make sure you were safe. There are people who have experience in their lives. There's those that have discernment. There are those who applied principles in their life of natural healing that have made themselves healthier again, experienced what it means to be healthier again, watched their children's lives, their parents' lives, their pets' lives transform from what you were told was impossible by the medical profession. You only have the opportunity to drug yourself for the rest of your life with a man-made chemical. No. You've all been lied to. We were all lied to. The only person who avoided all the lies was Dr. Jana Schmidt, and she had to be born in the woods, barefoot, flip-flops, out in the gardens with the bees from the time she was born. She's the only one that grew up and then in her 20s in college was like, what in the world is everybody doing? This world is crazy. I mean, like, the whole illusion was never presented to her. So anyway, come join us. There are things we know. I believe Dr. Henry Ealy is guided by God. I believe Dr. Group every single day has been for decades studying the arts of meditation, enhancing his spirituality so that he doesn't get caught up in the illusion that is life right now as you're being presented. And this guy, man, I learn from him every single day. I cannot wait to sit on the front row in October 23rd, 24th, 25th and learn from Dr. Group what he has learned traveling around the world, learning from ancient healing masters, stuff that they have known and passed down for 12,000 years. Wow. I'm only 48 years old. I don't study stuff from 12,000 years ago, but Dr. Group is learning from people who have been studying and had those oral traditions and healing arts passed down to them. But I've never even been exposed to them. I have no idea what he's going to open his mouth and say. So I can't wait to sit at his footstep and learn from him what he's learned from other people. And Dr. Jana Schmidt, oh my God, how can you not believe there's hope in any scenario ever sitting at the feet of Dr. Jana Schmidt, who we call Mother Earth. I call her Mother Earth. We call her the Queen Bee. This lady's been grounded in the awareness of truth that God created a perfect human organism, put it on a perfectly created earth plane with physical plants, minerals, soil, dirt, air, sunlight, moonlight, darkness, sleep patterns, you name it. She already has all this appreciation. It's ingrained in her. She knows nothing but hope and beautiful aspects of life. And how can you not resonate with hope listening to Dr. Jana Schmidt present to you how easy it is? And this is what's great. Dr. Jana Schmidt talks about bee pollen, talks about honey, bees. She just loves bees. And as the rest of the world's trying to figure out what kind of multivitamin should I take every day and where should I buy it from? She's like, bee pollen is the greatest multivitamin ever made on earth. It has all the vitamins and minerals a person needs every day. God makes it. It's sitting out in a beehive. We collect it, put it in jars. You can buy it, go get it, or go get your own beehive like Dr. Group has in his backyard. You can go get your own multivitamin in your backyard. You don't need to go buy it somewhere. Just go eat it. It's already out there in the yard in a beehive somewhere. And then we all learned from Dr. Jana Schmidt that in her research, she has discovered that inside of bee pollen is a substance called glucose oxidase. Its actual acronym in all medical journals is GOD molecule, is what they call it, the God molecule, which is abbreviated glucose oxidase, GOD, glucose oxidase, glucose oxidase, the God molecule. Then what did we do with that? Dr. Group's like, whoa, what does that stuff do? Can it detox nanotech? Can it remove graphene oxide from those that were worried about being exposed from chemtrails and vaccines? Can we do that? Dental anesthetics, can we do it? And then he goes and does research. As a group, we've all invested money in an electron microscope, a lab where you can evaluate these things under the microscope, where Dr. Group and his team at Global Healing produced a microsomal, a more bioavailable, easier digested form of glucose oxidase from bee pollen or from honey or from propolis, wherever they designed it and got it from. They concentrated that, then we sent it off to the lab, and we are confirming it actually destroys graphene oxide and helps detox that out of the body, and bring out heavy metals out of the body that cause issues. This is where I just believe God is overseeing all of this and all of our minds coming together. You know, multiple minds together creates movements, shatters illusions, and brings unity. Man, it's amazing. You think one mind's great. Wait till you bring a whole bunch of minds together that know things you don't know, and then you can collaborate those thoughts together and present and create things and beliefs and hopes that have never even been thought of before. So anyway, it's been really, really an honor. Then it's amazing to present stuff about venom aspect of COVID. Present 3 years ago in a documentary before I even met these guys. That nicotine is the ultimate antidote. At the end of my documentary called Watch the Water, I was like, everybody should be on nicotine right now. In the pandemic, nicotine, go. And then to find out that a research group in Spain last year named La Quinta Columna, after watching all these interviews of me talking about the nicotine being published to cure long COVID and COVID symptoms, they decided to take a challenge. And they actually said in a 3-minute clip, we've decided to test Dr. Ardis's theory that nicotine and tobacco can rid the body of nanotech in these shots. So they take dental anesthetics, Pfizer, Moderna shots. They dry out the sample for a month. You can see all the nanotech microchips in the shots. And then they take tobacco leaf, steep it in hot water, and then just drop the tobacco water that has nicotine in it. And you can physically watch the nicotine in the plant as God designed it, literally eat and dissolve all of the microchips in less than 10 seconds, 20 seconds. It's like that. And then it just keeps going along the slide and gathering up all the other nanotech and destroying it. And they actually say, this research group, not me, they never even talked to me. In their own words, they said, this is the greatest video that needs to be shared around the world. It is the most important video that needs to be shown to the whole world right now. That nicotine found in the tobacco plant destroys all nanotech. Well, it's not just nicotine, but God gave us that in the tobacco plant, eggplants, tomatoes, and potatoes, as everyone's learned now for me over the last 4 years. Dr. Ed Group, learning from Dr. Jana Schmidt with the rest of us, was like, hey, let's see what glucose oxidase capability is this God molecule God gave us in honey, propolis, royal jelly, you name it. Let's test it and see. And oh my God, we are confirming just what science has already known, what God has always known. He gave us all the answers and the miracles in nature. And we have lost the respect, the reverence, and humility for what God created. And we think that man in labs around the world is creating something better. No, they're not. God got it right the first time. And he has given people spiritual gifts to go study that information, hinting at them to have experiences that shatter their illusions and disbeliefs in medicine, that there is a better way. That better way just always happens to be the immune system in the human body that many of us are taught is incompetent, has no ability to heal itself or detox itself, and just needs to be drugged in order to function normal. No, it has every inherent ability to detox and repair every human body. This is why anybody could touch the hem of Jesus and they would be healed. Guess who created you? Jesus did. So when you touch him, his whole countenance knows everything he put inside of you and designed you with is going to heal itself. And so you just need a little bit of that hope and that belief, and just watch. Get yourself out of the way. Get your mind out of the way. Get the toxins in your environment, as Dr. Ed Group articulates every single day. Every disease, every symptom is a result of a toxic internal environment, toxic external environment. Even your thoughts are toxic. Your beliefs can be toxic, or they can be healing. Anyway, I'm done talking. Come to Healing for the Ages. It's amazing. I get blown away by these guys. It's amazing.
That's awesome. Actually, just a backstory on the glucose oxidase. I was introduced to glucose oxidase probably roughly around 18 years ago. I was at like an underground cancer conference, and this one doctor was using glucose oxidase with cancer. And now we have so many turbo cancers out there. And the mechanism of action of glucose oxidase is it converts glucose into hydrogen peroxide, which Bryan talks about and started talking about during COVID, the positive effects of hydrogen peroxide. That was our first A.G.E.S summit when we told people how beneficial hydrogen peroxide was for cleaning out nanotech, cleaning out toxins from the body, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, these are the kind of things. I think what makes A.G.E.S special is that, all of us here go to many type of conventions all the time. We're speaking at conventions, and there's just so much confusion out there from the public because the majority of the doctors that get up on stage, they talk about one specific subject, or they're talking about the spike protein still, which is like 5 years old. They're still on the same subject, and it's all, take these protocols, take these products, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so when you get that over and over again, instead of addressing like, what is the real root cause of what humanity is going through right now? Okay, those are the kind of questions that we ask. What is the future of humanity, and what is humanity going through right now? What's humanity's going through right now, which we've been talking about, is exactly what the negative forces, the dark control mechanisms, the Bill Gates, the Klaus Schwabs, the World Economic Forum, the Ray Kurzweils, all of these individuals have been throwing in our face since 2018 when Big Pharma switched from pharma to biotech, right? What is biotech anyway, right? Changing biology to technology, okay? Biotech, right in our face. They've been coming out and saying, we are going to synthesize and create a synthetic world. We're going to create a synthetic sky, a synthetic atmosphere. We're going to create synthetic foods. We're going to create a synthetic political system, a synthetic financial system, a synthetic agricultural system. I mean, you name it. Basically, they want full control over everything. And as I quote in their documentation, they say the last transformation that we will make is converting the human body, the carbon-based human body, into a silica-based system that we can control. Okay, that's the definition of transhumanism. Bioweapons is basically the same thing. Weapons against human biology, God's created biology. So we're at a critical time here, and I'm not saying this to try to create fear in anybody, because it's just the opposite. What I'm saying is, at this point in time, everybody has to choose. They have to choose the life that they want to live. Okay. It's saddening to us, and we talk about it all the time. It's like, especially with the freedom fighters, the patriot movement out there, the natural doctors, the chiropractors, the people that are enlightened, that do understand all this stuff. When you look at them, they're overweight, they're sick. You go chiropractic conference or a naturopathic conference or anything like that, the freedom fighting conferences, and you look out in the audience. I mean, these are enlightened people that know the truth, right? Why is that this group of teachers, of enlightened beings, still sick and still overweight? The answer to that is that we haven't made the decision internally to be able to create and take responsibility for our own selves and our own health. And that's where the MYHA, the Make Yourself Healthy Again movement, is really trending. We've been saying the biggest threat to humanity, the biggest threat to the earth, is the transhumanism agenda. Right now, and to this day, 5 years later, we are still the only team in the world that's been continuously talking to people, updating people on the transhumanism agenda, and the only research team in the world that has actually been documenting phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, phase 5, and we are now in phase 6. What does phase 6 means? That means that I would say at least probably 30% of the world's population right now has synthetic red blood cells in their system. What do I mean by that? We are taking and looking at blood samples, urine samples every single day, And we are letting those sit on the slide. And we have slides that are sitting out for weeks where the normal blood cells would just die, where the cells are still moving around. We put them under the electron microscope, we analyze them, and these are silica-based cells. They're spraying all this stuff in the air. And it's time for people, really, what we're trying to do is we're just here to help humanity. We just want we want to help people. We want to teach people. I mean, the thing is, we can teach all day long, but unless somebody does something about it and makes that commitment and makes that decision to change their life, they're never going to improve and they're never going to change their life. You can't force somebody. And what's happened is people are so addicted to their routines. They're so addicted to what they've learned and what's been brainwashed into their head for so many years that it's a difficult time. This is a time period where you're having a shift from one age or revolution. This is what Bill Gates and them say. It's like we're entering the fourth and the fifth revolution right now, which this is the revolution of technology. Well, you have to ask yourself, do I want to become a cyborg, or do I want to take control over my own health? Do I want to raise my biofield? Do I want to raise my aura? Do I want to be able to create my own bubble of health and happiness? And these are the questions that people have to ask. You know, what we ask people, you know, do you feel good about your life right now? I mean, can you look in the mirror and say, I'm happy with my life right now. I'm happy with myself right now. I'm happy with the way I look. I'm happy with the way I feel. I feel like I'm at a good weight. This is not happening. I feel like my relationships are balanced and working. I feel happy at my job. I feel happy with my relationship with my kids, my wife. I feel happy with the way things are because I've created my own happy, healthy bubble in my life. People need to stop paying attention to every single thing that's going on, okay? They're just distracted. The whole plan is to distract you away from yourself, distract you away from your life. So you're spending hours watching Netflix, and you're spending hours on social media during the day. And you're spending hours at these useless events and going out to luncheons and drinking alcohol all day and chatting. And you're wasting your time. And at the same time you're wasting your time, you're actually degrading your life. Your mental capacity is falling, your physical capacity is falling, and your spiritual capacity is falling. And that's why we're really telling people that now is the time that you need to make a decision, because we didn't consent. Okay. Like, I know there's some people out there that are like, oh yeah, put a chip in me. Yeah, I want to be in line for the Neuralink or whatever. A lot of us awakened patriots and freedom fighters, we didn't consent to the nanotechnology. We didn't consent to be breathing toxic air and nanotechnology in the air, having, toxic water in our waterways and stuff like that. So now is the time that people need to take responsibility and start making those decisions, because we really only have time and decisions. I mean, your whole life is based off of time and decisions, getting back to that weight. If not, they're going to transform humanity into cyborgs. So what I'm going to be bringing to the A.G.E.S conference has a lot to do with that, because what I like to find is stuff that no one else has ever found before. Okay, I don't like to necessarily look at the research. I do about 25% of my time looking at current research, because you have to do that, right? I mean, we're making lots of innovations. But if you think about it, the innovations that we're making, like with high-end light therapies or med bed technologies or any of that, that's all based on frequency and vibration anyway. So if you look back in the ancient times and you go travel around and you look at all of these ancient manuscripts, it was all based really on creating the vibration and frequency of love. All of the healing technologies were based on light. They were based on sound. They were based all around a family structure. And most importantly, like Adam and Eve, they were based upon the coming together of the male and the female. The female has between her breasts the positive pole, and in her cervix is the negative pole, and the male is just the opposite, the positive pole and the negative pole. And when they come together, they create the frequency of love. The frequency of love and the vibration of love is these techniques and these these high level healing technology, I don't even like to call them technology, these high level divine sacred healing manuscripts are that I've uncovered. And there's, I mean, I could probably spend 10 years and still uncover more, but all of them, whether you look at the ancient Tibetan, the ancient Vedic, the ancient Taoist, the ancient Ayurvedic, they all basically, before they got manipulated, before control mechanisms came into place, they all taught the most powerful thing for all humans is to feel love and to feel a connection to God and to feel that enlightenment. And everybody back 12,000 years ago in the text had auras around them. They communicated through telepathy. And these are the kind of practices that they used. And for me, it's like we're talking about nanotech, which alters your biochemistry and alters the biophotonics and alters the energy in your system. They feed off the energy in your system, actually. They harvest the energy from your system. That's why everybody is so fatigued these days. So how do you prevent that from happening? Can you set up your own biofield? Are there ways to do that are for free that we can discuss? And absolutely they are. And it goes back to a lot of the things that we've been talking about. It talks about grounding, using the earth to heal, using the polarities of the male and female, the masculine and the feminine energies to heal. This is why all of the ancient healing techniques revolved around what they described as sacred lovemaking. And now talking about sex as we know it. Sex as we know it was developed by the negative power, that was developed by the satanic individuals out there. They took what was sacred and flipped it around and made it into something that is very, very detrimental for the humans. Because, for example, the sacred, what they considered every single culture, which was the most sacred thing, was the semen of the male. And the woman's, her breast milk was sacred because it gave life. Women actually were considered love because they birthed creation into the planet. And what they talk about in the ancient texts is that women, the one thing they searched for their whole lives, and this is what they told about, that the males the males are there to provide women with the one thing that they seek. And women will seek this for their entire life. Women will seek to feel the divine love. That's what they seek. And what's happened is we've taken that away. All the books have burned. By the way, Michael, the things I'm sharing were only reserved, the majority of them, for the elite class, the ruling class, the X school in Egypt, the highest priestesses, and priests, the alchemists, the high level people, because they didn't want the people they were controlling to understand the power that they had within their own bodies.
Wow.
For example, the men all practice semen retention. They did, you're losing your life force. And these techniques were based on how to live 100 years, 200 years, 300 years, if you wanted to, how to preserve your life force, how to become immortal. And all of it was really about the sacred divine connection with God. That's what they were using these techniques for. There was no disease. And if there is any one disease, there's healing, there's processes that I'm going to be sharing where you can completely wipe out any disease just within a maximum of 15 days. But even before that, just by using some of these ancient techniques. It's very fascinating for me to uncover a lot of these ancient techniques that, by the way, are all free. And all of those cultures used urine, because urine contains gold. There's so many different. There's a philosopher's urine, creating a philosopher's urine where your urine is, cultures for a year and turns red. There's a sacred divine urine that can be created through sacred lovemaking between the male and the woman when they come together. There's the regular urine that you can use just every single day. All of the things that we've been given to be able to enlighten the body, the mind, and the soul. So you do not want to miss this year's Healing for the Ages conference. If you can't make it live, we'd love to see you there. We'd love to give you a hug. We only have a few tickets left. So, get on and buy the tickets now if you want to come visit us. It's a family type event. We have organic food, distilled water, really powerful energy fields there. And just the energy of love. I mean, and that's part of what I'm going to be talking about. But it's a very special event. And, you know, right now we all want to see this next level of consciousness come into the planet. We want the great enlightenment. There's people are waking up every single day. We're getting little small wins, and every single day, and the earth and the consciousness is changing. You just have to ask yourself, am I going to change with it? This is the time. Either you have to make a decision. Either I'm going to change or they're going to change me. So this is what we're doing at Healing for the Ages. In the last 30 years, I've never come across a group of 4 doctors that are working together to change humanity. In the last 30 years of doing this is a divine plan and a divine organization to where we can all come together and share our thoughts, but then also things come to us, and people are going to look back and they're going to say, you know, 5 years from, we're always 10 years ahead of the times. Like I came out on Alex Jones in 2018 and told the world exactly what they were going to do and laid it all out. Wow. They're going to create a pandemic. This is what they're going to do. They're going to shoot nanotech into people. And after that show, I was completely taken out, death threats. I was wiped clean everywhere online, censored. Within 3 weeks, Alex had 12 lawsuits filed against him for Sandy Hook. That's why it's so important to listen to what we're saying now. Don't wait 5 years and 10 years and be like, I wish I would have listened to what A.G.E.S was saying 5 years ago. Those guys were right. We're always 5 to 10 years ahead of the times. Mm-hmm. And within the next 3 or 4 years, pretty much if you don't do something about it now, all of humanity is going to be 51% cyborg. And once humanity is 51% cyborg, then it's going to be like Terminator days all over again. And we're going to be the ones people are going to be coming to, you know, to get the nanotech and get the stuff out of their system in the underground lab somewhere or something like that. But no, the thing is, you don't have to wait till it gets to that. We already have solutions, and it's all easy. You know, it's all just detox, keep the parasites out of your body. Keep the chemicals and heavy metals out of your body. Clean your liver on a regular basis. Keep your gut clean on a regular basis. And sweat and ground and eat healthy. And for me, drink your own urine. You know, all of these different things that you can do for free to raise your biofield, clean out your body, lose the weight, start becoming happy again, start loving yourself again. Now is the time to go through the transformation. The best transformations always happen when somebody's going through some pain, some trauma, some chaos. That's when your life is getting shaken up. And that's why your life is getting shaken up, because God wants to shake it up to wake you up. So you can say, I'm going to start making some changes and I'm going to start doing this myself. That's why you get symptoms. You know, not to go run to the doctor, but you get symptoms to give you a sign to start paying attention to your body.
You know, that's amazing. I was wondering, because I sat down with Dr. Ardis when I first met him, and we're talking, and he was telling me all this stuff, and I was like, have you ever had like direct energy weapon attacks on you? So it just popped in my mind because I had them. And he's like, oh yeah, this is what I do. And I was like, I do the same thing. It's like, so I was wondering, all of you guys, because you're sharing, like you're talking about, Dr. Group, I was like, I bet all these guys get death threats and attacks and all that kind of stuff. Wow. It's crazy, isn't it?
I had a bad attack.
Great stuff to the world, and they're trying to kill us. Wow.
Well, ask yourself, why? Why would they do that?
Yeah.
Why would they do that? Because we are threats to their control. Mm-hmm. There's nothing harder to control in this world than a healthy human being, and especially a healthy human being that knows how to keep themselves healthy. That is an uncontrollable person, and you can't have that. We did some tracing back this summer, Michael, and you've heard me talk about cult of Asclepius, right? Mm-hmm. You've heard those words. We trace back the origins to 500 BC. They have been running things for over 2,500 years. They are pros at what they do. And their basic knowledge, their basic, they knew they had to do what Dr. Group was saying. You have to take the sacred texts and you have to hide them. That's the formation of the occult. Occult means hidden. So they had to hide these scrolls from everybody and burn all the rest of them. It's a miracle. I was talking to some students about this. You have to understand how God works in such beautiful ways. The Dead Sea Scrolls, right? The Dead Sea Scrolls, where you find the Book of Enoch, where you find the Egyptian Bible, the unadulterated sacred text. There's one copy of it left, written in Aramaic, and who finds it? A Muslim shepherd. This is not an accident. A Muslim shepherd that loses where his goat is, goes running off. The goat goes running into this cave. The shepherd boy goes in there to track the goat down. And what does he find? The Dead Sea Scrolls. And they weren't well organized at that point. This is 1947. You got to remember, this is right after World War II. This network that we're up against right now of the Good Club and the Cult of Asclepius, this version of them, they weren't well organized after the World War II. They were banking on Hitler running the world. They were funding Hitler. So when that didn't go down, they receded back into the United Nations. They receded back into the World Health Organization, and they started to recalibrate. They didn't have their tentacles like they have today. So this little shepherd boy gets this major find out, and they can't control it. So it has to get out there. And what do we find? We find the Book of Enoch. We find all these texts that they had removed hundreds of years earlier, and that they didn't want out, but now they're out. Now you can't deny that they're out there, right? Well, this organization, the Cult of Asclepius, they figured out something way back 500 years ago, Michael, and this is where you have to understand, because it's relevant today, and I'm going to show you why in a second. They learned that if they hang out next to militaries and they hang out next to emperors, they are going to stay in power. So they align themselves with the Roman emperors. They align themselves with the Roman military, especially because emperors can change, but militaries will be around for a while. Now, what have we seen with the biotech, the pharmaceutical industry? Who were they aligned with? The DOD and DARPA, because they know how to stay in power. Stay next to all the guys with guns and weapons. That's how you stay in power. Emperors, presidents come and go, and we can remove them if we need them. JFK, anybody? We can remove them if we need to. They'll come and go, but we remain. And what's their symbol? The single stick with a single snake climbing up it. Now, I don't know about you, that is a ridiculously stupid symbol for health. Can we all agree that that is a dumb thing? And it's not even just a stick, it's actually a club when you go back through the Greek history. The staff of Asclepius is a club. It's for hitting. So they're telling you what they're about. We are for inflicting pain, military, and venoms. And we're going to inject you with those this is what they've been doing for 2,500 years. They've just gotten more sophisticated at it now as technology has gone up. But what did we see happening with President Trump? And I was really sad to see this. Couple weeks ago, he was tweeting out about, we are going to find out what's going on with these shots, right? That these shots are not safe. He was all out, and everybody's like, oh my God, President Trump finally is turning on Operation Warp Speed. And then what do we see within the next couple days? Bill Gates at dinner, sitting right next to Melania. What do we see a week or two after that? Bourla from Pfizer being hailed in the Oval Office as a great patriot. He's a vet. At best, he's a veterinarian. At best, he's a veterinarian. And this guy is now being credited with all this stuff. You have to understand when you're looking at things, when you're seeing the Cult of Asclepius. And when you see these things that don't make sense from a health perspective, like why are the shots still available, right? We all know they've killed millions of people and injured millions and millions more. Why aren't they being sued into oblivion? Why do they have these protections? Why are they attempting with this new U.S. Farm Bill to grant additional protections to Bayer Monsanto for glyphosate? That's actually written in there. Why are they trying to push this through? Because they figured out in 1947 that we didn't have enough control. And so what they had to do was step their game up. And that's where you have Lyndon Baines Johnson. That's where you have Kissinger. And that's where you have this whole conversation about he who controls the money, he who controls the weather, he who controls these things controls the world and the future of humanity. That's where these quotes come from, because they got back together and started figuring out what they need to do. And today we're living in the maturation of that reality. So why are we getting death threats when we get death threats? Because it's some psychopath that thinks we're off on something? No. It's because they're trying to let us know we see you and you better shut up. We want you to be scared. But the problem with that is the four of us work for God and we aren't afraid. So we're going to keep speaking the truth. We're going to keep bringing enlightenment as an opportunity for everyone. And we're going to keep showering you with love. And if the evil people have a problem with it, tough. We aren't stopping. We aren't changing what we're doing. And we aren't going to back down, because we know what's right, because we've proven what's right over and over again. And I want to tell everybody listening to it right now this statement: we outnumber them hilariously. There are more of us than there could ever be of them. And it's time for us to start acting like it. And that's why you come to Healing for the Ages, because acting like it is simple this. If you want to be defiant and you want to be a patriot, all you have to do is learn how to be healthy and not need the sick care system. And you immediately, through your own actions, dismantle it right then and there on the spot. Brother Dr. Ardis, what do you think about that?
I would just like to quote, I'm on Pfizer's website right now, by the way. Right now. I am reading Pfizer's website right now, article titled, Pfizer reaches landmark agreement with the United States government to lower drug cost for American patients. Now, that looks like a great title. Dated September 30th, 2025, just a couple weeks ago, which is what you're referencing. Actually, it's just 9 days ago. And in this article, I want to quote what came out of this meeting. Oh, this is the highlight of the article. You ready? Pfizer CEO Albert Bourla joins President Donald J. Trump and members of the administration in the White House event today. That was September 30th. That's what he is referencing. So for all of you out there who are like, we love Trump, he's going to actually get rid of these damn shots. These Pfizer shots killed so many people, caused turbo pants, cancers, myocarditis. He's going to realize this was a bad deal with Pfizer, and Pfizer created something dangerous. Why would you invite somebody into your house who just maimed a whole lot of people if you really believe that's what he's doing? Unfortunately, in the middle of this article, I want to reinforce here everybody who believes he's about to make a change in your life surrounding vaccines. I quote Pfizer, "We are committed to channeling unprecedented resources with an additional $70 billion dedicated to U.S. research," which is what Donald J. Trump just gave Pfizer 2 weeks ago. We're going to take this new $70 billion and we're going to develop and use capital projects in the next few years with this money. And this builds upon our more than $83 billion investment they've already started in American biotech innovation from the years 2018 to 24, which is what they spent. We gave that to them, showing how we are strengthening our commitment at this pivotal moment by shaping the future of medicine with the pursuit of pioneering breakthroughs and ensuring the U.S. remains the global hub for medical progress and improving lives. Now, I like to ask all of you watching this, do you believe Pfizer has accomplished any of the stuff they're about to tell you right now in this article with this new $70 billion Donald J. Trump just handed to Albert Bourla, the veterinarian who is the CEO of Pfizer? Yes, he is not even a human doctor. He is a veterinarian. And what do these people assume we are? Subhuman. Have you not read that in their paperwork? Have you read the Club of Rome documents in the 1960s? They see all of us as subhuman. Here we go. With this agreement in place, Bourla says, Pfizer can fully focus on, with this new $70 billion, on delivering the next generation of cures, Dr. Ealy and Dr. Group, sharpening its focus in these key areas of companies' science, scale, and agility. And we can make the biggest difference for patients in areas like this. Listen, oncology, obesity, vaccines, and inflammation and immunology. That's what Pfizer just said. And I would like to remind all of you at home, Pfizer opened its doors as a drug manufacturer 175 years ago. And to this day, they have still never manufactured, supplied information from research to the FDA, being able to claim that they've ever cured a damn thing. They have no drug that's ever cured anything. They've been around 175 years. I don't know how long you're going to give some group of people to figure out how to make something in a lab that might cure somebody, but they've yet to do that. And what this same company generated in the last 5 years, given $83 billion from 2018 to 2024. Now let's give them another $70 billion because you've created turbo cancers in young people we have never seen before. And university students who are dying within 2 weeks of diagnosis. This is abnormal for glioblastomas, people. Myocarditis in teenagers never seen before by any cardiologist of 35 years or 40 years in practice. Only now, since the COVID-19 vaccines of Pfizer have been introduced to the world. Okay, great. This is what they've given you. Death, miscarriages, infertility at rates you've never seen before. And we just gave them another $70 billion to continue to destroy while they experiment on our lives like we are animals in a cage. Come join us at Healing for the Ages, because God said in the Garden of Eden eons ago that what I put in the garden, which included dirt, soil, light, sunlight, air, food, plants, you name it, animals, everything I put on the earth was for the benefit of man. And we continue to throw your hard-earned dollars at people to figure out how to make something synthetic, fake, that they can patent and tell you that that's going to be better than what God gave you. We stand as sentinels and reminders and lighthouses to guide you, to be reminded God already gave you everything you needed. You keep looking outside of yourself for your answers to your health. It doesn't exist there. You have to put it inside of you. You either do the work in meditation, spiritual practices, and prayer and meditation, or you're going to actually start exercising so you can sweat, get the sunlight, be out in the sun, benefit from the detoxing effects of moving your body, which includes, it improves your body's ability to urinate, have bowel movements, and sweat. All of which are basic daily detoxing efforts the human body was designed to do on its own. So if you want to be reminded how the body truly stays healthy, you might want to go back and study with us, those of us who are here standing as reminders of truth. Where real hope resides is in where nature fuels the cells of your body called the immune system to protect you from cancer, defend you against pathogens, and help you detox things from the body that never belonged there in the first place. Come join us at Healing for the Ages, October 23rd, 24th, 25th. Put in the discount code for 30% off of virtual, Jaco, Jaco, and come hang out with us. It's going to be an incredible event, and I'm honored to be here with you, Michael. Thank you for having us on. I have to jump to another business meeting, unfortunately. I'm going to have to log off, but I love you very much for your support. My thoughts and prayers go out to you and your family. It's not been the easiest of years, and all of us have been confronted with either death threats, loss of life. Everyone knows for the last 5 years, I've only been motivated because my father-in-law was murdered in a hospital in front of me and in front of my family. And ever since then, I have been solely motivated to make sure you know what is true, what is false, what is deceit, what is hope. And we define those opportunities for you to learn those things through Healing for the Ages, through our individual platforms, through the books we write, and through the things we post on social media. It's our attempt to try to bless you and keep you from unnecessary harm, disease, and death, period.
Thank you, Dr. Ardis. I'm going to play the video. I know you got to take off, but I'm going to play this video for the event as you sign off. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. God bless you all. We love you.
This is January of 1999. The statement in the subtitle is How Genetic Engineering Will Change Us When in the next century.
Statin drugs will shut down the absorption of CoQ10.
That's why the doctor group was saying we're doing this because this conversation has to start now.
Because one way direction is giving up your power to somebody else to fix you. The other way is you taking your own power to fix yourself.
Yeah. And Michael, let me just say for your audience too, we did have one unfortunate thing. We showed a whole bunch of folks that are going to show up. Dr. Gerald Pollack there was an unfortunate medical issue in his family and everything. He's not going to be able to be with us on that one. So just want to make sure nobody's coming like, oh, well, you said Gerald Pollack. We wanted him here too. He wanted to be here too. Just life happens sometimes and we adjust. So what we did was we moved the teen ages from last year. We brought them back. We're bringing them back. And they've got super great reviews. They're going to do a great job teaching in that role for it. But we will be talking about water and electricity and structuring in my presentation on Saturday. So they will get that some information as well.
Very good. Very good. Well, thank you, gentlemen. It's always a pleasure and honor. At some point, I'd love to have you on individually because your information is over the top individually as well as collectively. So collectively at that event, I highly recommend it. You're going to learn how to think like these gentlemen and that lady does. And that's one of the great takeaways I got from that. So thank you, gentlemen, and look forward to having shows with you in the future.
You're awesome, Michael. We love you, brother. Take care.
We love you, Michael. Thank you. We love you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.